Did you enjoy? This video is about the power of changing your world by changing your words. By changing a few words, you can change the world. Tonight, my topic is gratitude comes from converting suffering and resentment. I have another question for you now. The question is, how do we turn a life of resentment into a life of gratitude? Is it easy for you? Easy? Me too. I think it is not easy all the time. Sometimes it is easy, but sometimes very hard. I would like to tell you my experience and practice when I had cold recently. I was coughing a lot because of a cold. The cold was so bad that I couldn't do anything. I wanted to drive the cold out of my body quickly, but things didn't go as I had hoped. When will the cold get out of my body? I waited anxiously. It seemed like a very long time to me. I didn't feel at ease with my mind and body. Whenever I coughed, I felt pain. What was bothering me? Come to think of it, the cough didn't have the power to bother or control me. I had thought that the cough itself bothered me, but actually, the thought that the cough bothered me was making me feel stressed and full of pain. So I let go of all the thoughts about the cold, such as this cough is bad, or I'd like to drive this cough out of my body as soon as possible, or this cough just gives me pain. And I stopped making any judgments. Instead, I accepted the current situation as it was. Then I felt much more comfortable. And I said, aha, everything comes from my mind. Resentment or gratitude, I have made up all by myself. One more time I realized this yet again. As I felt comfortable, I realized the cold and cough was not an enemy that I had to drive out. But it was rather a guest that I had to accommodate. It came to me that this was necessary. This is unavoidable for me. So I should take it on as an opportunity to practice. Then I searched for information about the cough on the internet. A cough is an important defense mechanism for the body. A cough prevents foreign material from entering the airway. When your airway becomes clogged with mucus, a cough is a natural way of clearing the airway to make breathing easier. In addition, a cough expels harmful virus from the body. I got to know that the cough is like a guard who takes care of my body. This sensory condition of a painful cough gave me an opportunity to practice mind study. And I was thankful for having my mind free from discrimination and attachment. Knowing that the cough is actually a beneficial guard, I felt gratitude rather than animosity. Thanks, cough Buddha. I realized that I should take good care of my body to prevent my catching a cold from now on. This was an awakening. A seemingly annoying thing like a cough can be a blessing in disguise. So I should take on every sensory condition without discrimination and attachment for right choice in action. Mind study and practice has led me out of resentment into gratitude. Aha! Resentment and gratitude are there for me to find and use. When we experience suffering, like a bodily ailment, it can bring us pain and dissatisfaction. But we can convert this suffering into gratitude. This is not an easy process, but it is a powerful practice which can change our entire life as well as to lives of those around us. How do we do this? We must meditate and examine deeply the source of pain, discomfort, and dissatisfaction. When we do this, we will discover the underlying psychological or invisible reason, and we can become aware of all the good things that we may take for granted, and we can continue to enjoy our life despite our pain. Instead of experiencing stress or pain, we can view many difficult situations as an opportunity to discover grace and gratitude. And we will see how grace fills our life at all levels. Even the immediate pain can begin to go away. We can release the pain. We can release the resentment. we can release the suffering. Then appreciation and gratitude naturally begin to fill our mind and heart. We learn a deeper appreciation for all the things that have supported us in our life. A more grateful life begins to grow. As gratitude replaces suffering, the gates open for us to experience to grace, which is always present and flowing in our lives. The grace of this earth and heaven, our parents, our friends and family, even the laws and the principles have protected us and given us the opportunity to grow and find realization in our lives. How can you turn a life of resentment into a life of gratitude? How? The founding master Sotaesan told us how. He said, your level of gratitude depends on how deeply you feel the grace. Even if you have something you resent, respond gratefully by discovering the fundamental source of grace and give thanks for that resentful situation. This morning I told you one of my friends had a boil on her buttock. It made her life very difficult, but she realized how important her buttock is. She found grace and gratitude from resentful situations. Our founding master told us we have to do this practice in every situation. That is real practice. Also, in the morning Dharma talk, I told you this world is grace itself. The basis of the universe is the fourfold grace. Maybe you remember. If you look in earnest for grace, the grace is there to be found. When you close your eyes, you cannot see anything. But you can see everything when you open your eyes. When you open your spiritual eyes, you can see the grace that you cannot see with your physical eyes. Sometimes a handicapped person, like a person who is blind, like that man, find deeper gratitude and grace than other people. When I walked around the One Dharma Center, I feel alive and grateful. I am breathing the air, smelling the flowers. I see all the beautiful trees, all their leaves, and even the tiniest flowers and grasses. I hear the bird's song. I feel alive and I am grateful. Turning a life of resentment into a life of gratitude should not be a one-time practice. You have to do it again and again. Yes, you have to repeat it every day and every moment. As you lived yesterday, as you live today, and as you will live tomorrow. Like this, each day you have to keep turning a life of resentment into a life of gratitude. This is our real life. So enjoy your life. Anyone who does mind study and practice under very difficult situations is a real Buddha. When you practice, you become a Buddha. Buddha diligently attends to his or her mind. No matter what causes resentment, one turns the resentment into gratitude. So our masters tell us that Buddha is always diligent. He is busy checking his mind. But lazy people don't attend to their mind. They just hate suffering. I don't want to suffer. They only think of getting rid of the pain and look for an easy way out. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who was growing an excellent crop of rice. He was a little greedy and impatient. So he pulled the rice plants a little bit taller. He made it like this to make them grow even faster. He was very proud of his clever technique. But unfortunately, pulling up the plants only harmed them, and they withered and died the next day. Like this, we should take our time in meditation to allow it to fully develop. We cannot do things with greed and impatience. Our mind study and practice will never succeed if we are greedy and impatient. Keeping all your desires in check allows you to do your mind study and practice well. You have to hold on to your mind study at every moment and check your mind under every sensory condition or challenging situations. When you keep on doing mind study and practice and turn resentment into gratitude, you acquire the power of cultivation and equanimity, the power of wisdom, the power of right choice. Jongsan, the second head Dharma master of Won Buddhism, said, "Those who live only a life of resentment will always experience harm, even by tiny worms and insects. Those who live a life of gratitude will always experience assistance from the fourfold grace. Also, more gratitude will develop in you. Here is the essential practice of gratitude in 3 simple steps, easy for you to remember. When you are challenged by any difficulty or by anger, just try these simple steps. First, stop for an instant and pause your mind. Reflect on your original nature by breathing deeply. Breathing deeply. Second, look into your suffering and resentment. Just be aware of them and discover the underlying grace. Third, feel that grace, enjoy your gratitude, and put it into action in your life. I hope you practice these 3 steps in your daily life all the time. Your life can be full of grace every day and every moment, just by practicing gratitude. Even though you have sadness, you get angry sometimes, you have suffering, it is not a problem. It is our normal life. I told you, you are Buddha. You are already Buddha. Your original nature is perfect, like this Iron-san. Don't worry, even you are in any situation. Just practice and wait. Sometimes it takes time, but everything will pass. Just let's practice together. Tonight, I want you to write down 5 things in your journal that you are grateful for in your life. Please do this tonight. Can you do this? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.